Chapter 2. 2 years later, a most unexpected opportunity came up, which would eventually give me back my freedom. As time passed, my master would sometimes take me fishing with him in a boat. On one occasion, we got caught in a storm. The fog that day was so thick that we lost sight of the shore and had to work hard all day and all night to return. My master took this as a warning. So he put a compass and some provisions on board and built a cabin in the middle of the boat where he kept a couple of guns and some gunpowder. One day, a couple of years later, he had invited some guests over to the house, and he asked me and the other 2 slaves to go out in the boat and catch some fish for their dinner. At that very moment, my ideas of how to escape returned. I secretly took some wax on board to make candles, brought a hammer and a saw, and asked the Moor to bring some food just in case we had to stay out for a long time. He agreed, and brought a big basket full of biscuits and 3 jars of fresh water on the boat. When everything was ready, we sailed out of the port to go fishing. The wind blew south, which was not what I had wished for, but I didn't mind as long as I escaped. After fishing for some time, we only managed to catch very few fish. "This will not do," I said to the Moor. "Our master will not be pleased. We must go farther away from the shore." The Moor agreed, and we sailed farther away. Suddenly, I walked towards him, and to his surprise, I grabbed him and threw him overboard into the sea. At the same time, I got the gun out of the cabin, and pointing it at the Moor, I said, "You're a good swimmer, so swim away and save yourself, because I will have to put an end to your life if you come near the boat. I'm determined to have my freedom." The Moor immediately turned and swam for the shore. Then it was the boy's turn. "If you choose to be faithful to me, Zuri," I said to him, "I'll make you a great man, I promise. But if not, I will throw you into the sea too."
"I swear I'll be faithful and go all over the world with you,"
Zuri said with a smile on his face, and I had no reason not to trust him. With the wind still blowing south, we went down the African coast. We sailed for 5 days and only stopped our boat when we came to the mouth of a little river because we needed some fresh water. We did not know where we were exactly, and we truly hoped we would not come across any of the natives. We scanned the shore from a distance, and there was no one in sight, so we decided to swim to the shore when it got dark. But as the sun was setting behind the mountains, we began to hear the roaring and howling of wild animals. Zuri was terrified.
"Please,"
he begged.
"let's not go ashore tonight. Let's wait here until it's daytime again."
That night we didn't sleep at all. We saw the shadows of huge creatures coming down to the shore to wash and cool themselves off in the water, and we just sat still in the boat, not making any sound that would attract attention. But we were very frightened when one of them jumped into the water and began to swim towards our boat. I had no choice but to grab the gun and fire at it. The animal turned back while all the others began to howl at the sound of the gun. The sound of their howling was horrifying and made us shiver. We wanted to leave at that moment, but we could not possibly go on without any water. We waited until the animal sounds slowly died down in the early hours of the morning, and then Zuri volunteered to go inland and search for water. "Why you and not me?" I asked.
"If wild animals come back again, they can eat me and not you. You go away,"
he said, and smiled as always. I was deeply moved by his words. We pulled the boat close to the shore and got off with our guns in our hands. Zuri went farther inland to search for water. Not long after, I saw him running back to me. I feared that someone or something was chasing him, but then I saw that he looked happy. He was carrying a hare around his neck and 2 jars full of water. We ate the hare he had caught, drank some water, filled our jars once more, and were on our way again. I had a feeling we were somewhere near the Canary Islands, so I kept looking out to sea. Finally, I saw the peak of Mount Teide of Tenerife. But the wind did not let us go that way. Instead, we kept close to shore as we continued our southward journey for another 12 days. Our destination was Cape Verde, where we hoped to meet some European ships. We knew that if we didn't see a ship soon, it would probably be the end of us, as there was almost nothing for us to eat. One day, as we were sailing along the coast, we saw some natives on the beach. They started running along and waving to us as our boat sailed by. I made signs for something to eat, and then they signaled to us to stop, which we did. They ran inland and came back with some dried meat and some corn, which they left on the shore and then moved back. They looked just as afraid of us as we were of them. We took the meat and the corn to the boat and thanked them. As we were getting into our boat, we saw 2 powerful leopards running down from the mountains to attack the people on the shore. The natives screamed in terror and began to run, but Zuri and I loaded our guns and shot at the beasts. One of them ran back to the mountains, but the other fell dead on the sand. The natives fell to their knees and raised their hands in the air to express their gratitude. They offered us more fresh water and even more provisions to thank us, which we happily accepted. With our boat full, we once again continued our journey for 11 more days until we reached the Cape Verde Islands. As we were approaching the islands, Zuri called out,
Master, master, a ship with a sail.